Had to turn the camera on, to be honest, mostly to vent in a way, but also more so to just think, reflect a little bit, and kind of see what's going on in my brain. Specifically, this is around selling. This is about making money. Pretty much the main thing that I think about on a day to day basis, which has its pros and cons. Um, I have some opportunities, and I'm not used to is I'm not used to getting like rejected. It's happened. I'm not used to not closing deals because most of the time in my career, I think a couple things. It's been very interesting, and I think you're going to learn a lot from this. Honestly, hopefully you don't do some of this stuff. But what I've noticed about myself over the years is I will mostly only sell to warm leads because a lot of it's been referral. Um, in the agency land, it's always been pretty much referral. And my close rate, I would say, has been probably pretty high. I haven't tracked it closely enough, but I legitimately have not had the volume of sales calls that like a fucking online guru would tell you to have. So it's not that heavy of a list as far as how many I've had. So I would say my close rate's pretty high because of that. Mostly again because of the warm leads. And the second thing is I don't think I've been actually charging. There's definitely been some times where I've charged too little. Now, some of the times it was when I was learning and doing different things. And is it that big of a deal that I didn't charge that much? I don't know. But I'm just annoyed because now as I move into my next generation, I feel like of being a businessman, a couple things are happening. One, I'm selling different types of goods. I'm selling content, like sponsored content things, which even in that realm, I mean the rejections are less like direct because it's kind of just like async communications a lot of times. And I mean you could get on calls obviously, but in that realm it's like it's just a different way. It's just a different type of good. I'm talking like, a dedicated video or a sponsored ad slot in something or some sort of other partnership. So most of those have been realistically pretty good. Like pretty, I don't know. I've just closed again. I feel like a good amount of those. The ones that I've had, like my close rate is high. Have I had like a lot? Have I done outreach? Not too much. So that puts me at this other situation where now, like with the agency stuff again, and like kind of like the middle of where those two things meet, like my organic position on the internet, like things that like I'm doing and I'm showing my authority, and then also the warm leads and referrals that I'm getting from the agency, like it kind of coalesces like kind of like right in the middle. Like I have some people that want consulting and then potentially they want, to work together on like websites and stuff. And it's just like really annoying because I don't know. I just need to, I don't want to, I'm not blaming people that reject me. That's not like a productive thing. I'm, I'm like trying to be retrospective or introspective and think about like, obviously, like, what could I have done to close deals? What can I do to close more deals? How can I put myself in more position to close deals? When the reality is that most of the time you just need more reps. Like if you're closing every deal, you're probably like not charging enough in some ways. Like maybe that's the thing. Maybe your offer is just really good and like, you're selling water to people that are you know, parched. But um I don't think that's what I'm doing. So I think it's just a matter of like I haven't I haven't done that. I haven't had a large amount of leads enough to the point where like I would just be rejected by a lot of them. I feel like it's been like a perfect storm of what I said earlier. So anyway, like I mean, when you get an opportunity, this is like this is one of the main motifs that when I have been rejected, it's like I am providing, and there's a couple other things too that kind of came throughout my day to day that I want to just throw in here. I am providing high quality like service and high quality consulting and like whatever else. Like the things that I'm doing, I feel like are just very thoughtful, very skilled. The consulting and the feedback and the almost the business coaching, the business consulting, the all of that I do kind of in my day to day with either peers or people on in the sphere. It's at a high level. I'm not trying to like gloat or brag when I'm saying this. I mean it's factual, it's objective. And I'm trying to reconcile like I need to find the right people to work with. And I've obviously found some, but I need that's the thing. It's like it's not even finding more people. It's finding the right people because there's nothing worse in I feel like in my business so far where like I know that I can help somebody. And then I struggle and I chat GPT like, "Oh, how much should I charge for this? Because if I have to outsource it or outsource part of it, like to help with meet my bandwidth, meet my bandwidth and all this other stuff." And like, and then I put things in front of people and they don't have the money to do it. And I've told myself this before. I told myself that like I should never give anybody a proposal ever without telling them the price. And I've continuously made that mistake. But my point is like it's just unfortunate that so many times like most of the time again of the rejection it's not because they thought I couldn't do a good job. It's always been price related. And like, oh, we weren't thinking that was going to cost this much, or we don't have that money to spend or whatever. And I'm like, we could have just negated a lot of this. You know what I mean? Because then it's like it's just becomes like it becomes like a shitty feeling and a not a great situation where okay, now I spent time like either consulting or doing the proposal and doing all that sort of stuff, and now we got nothing out of this. Like we wasted your time, client, prospect, whatever, because you had to like think about all this. We wasted my time because I had to put the shit together when I could have been doing something else or whatever. And we realized that you just don't have the money, or you don't see that it is that as valuable as I said it was. Now, I'm not there's nothing here that's really innovative. This is more of like a me like traversing this business evolution and thought process. And this isn't the first time that I've had this realization. Like I need to do this more often. Like I need to the only real solution to this is I don't know what is on my face. The only real solution to this is to have more sales calls, I think, to some degree. It's to have more sales calls, to put more proposals out, to put them out, and most importantly, put them out as fast as possible, to say at least a ballpark range, which normally I'm pretty good at, but depending on what the deliverable is, I don't know. I might not know exactly, but to give like a ballpark range of what we think things are going to cost. It's also really difficult when the client doesn't know at all what the fuck they need or want. So it's like, then you're like, well, how am I going to give you a proposal when you don't know what you want and you can't tell me how much money you're willing to spend? It's really actually kind of a funny thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of a funny thing that this is a bit of a rant. It's kind of a funny thing that people come to service providers sometimes without knowing what they want, like without being able to articulate exactly what they want. They don't know how to do it. They definitely don't know how to do it. They barely know how to get what they want. They barely know how to describe what they want, articulate what they want. Then they they're not willing to disclose what their budget is for fear that like, oh, I'll just use up all the budget, or you would just use up all the budget. And it's like, can I get at least one of these pieces of information so I could help you? Yeah, it's like it's really tough. Um, and again, these are all things that have been solved before. I guess I just need to consistently get better. But I do think that there's a little bit of, credence to the idea of like I need to constantly be finding more appropriate avatars to work with based off of like what I'm offering and the capabilities that I have and how good of a fucking like implementer, strategist, consultant, whatever I am. I mean, this is one of the other things. I'm not getting I'm getting a little off topic, but this is all kind of it all kind of swirls around, and it swirled around today. Companies are fucking bad at marketing. Like it's interesting. Like it's really interesting how companies decide. This is super generalized obviously because it's not everyone, but it's like people that there's companies that decide that they aren't going to do marketing, or they're not going to like focus on it, or they don't whatever, they don't have the people to do it, or they just discount it, and then they like wonder why they're not making money. And it's like, I mean, there's levels to it, right? There's no marketing, there's good marketing, there's bad marketing. But it's just like it at the core of it, it's not complex. Like everyone could market themselves if they just started talking a little bit. Like or literally just got into a conversation with somebody. That's the easiest way to like market yourself. And I don't mean like conversation like door to door. It's like if you just filmed yourself talking to somebody and you're having a conversation about like your business and what you were offering, that could just be like the start and like the example of what marketing your business could be. Just talking about your shit, you know what I mean? And I try to do that. Well, I end up don't I what I end up doing is I don't end up marketing my offers. I end up just marketing my ideas and my thoughts and whatever. And that's been good. Like that's definitely been helpful. But it hasn't been helpful to necessarily sell because I'm not like marketing the ways I can help. I'm marketing the ways that I can think and kind of strategize or whatever. And it's a different thing that I need to work on. But I'm trying not to get too off topic. I'm just thinking like, there are so many like this is gonna sound fucking terrible. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you. If you're watching right now, I'm gonna tell you it's gonna sound terrible. There are so many like unremarkable companies and like not necessarily people, but like roles. Not saying that people are fucking unremarkable exactly. I'm just saying like whatever they're doing or whatever. There's so many like unremarkable situations out there. And I just think to myself, it's like the stuff that I know and the stuff that I can provide, I mean, is so fucking valuable. And I don't, and I guess I haven't cracked the code on how to make that look more valuable because I know that like as soon as I get into that flow, I mean, the gates are going to fucking open. It's just I haven't gotten there yet. It's really that simple because like I constantly think at this wavelength of strategy and like critical thinking. And anytime anybody asks me any question, I'm thinking 17 different fucking angles of how I could object to that, how I could improve it, how other people would object to it. And I know this because I've had way more conversations in the last like 12 to 18 months. And people notice this about me and they've started to tell me, and it's great and I appreciate it. And it's done great things for my like confidence in moving in this area. So we're definitely gaining traction. Patience is still a thing, so unfortunate, but that's kind of where I'm at today with a lot of this is like, from selling stuff to being like, how hard do you go when you're selling stuff? If like people are saying they don't have money to do it, like, could you like, obviously Hermosi will tell you to fucking payment plan and all this stuff. I mean, I'll do all that, whatever, but like it's just, you know, it's just there's things that we need to make money for stuff, and we need to make money for stuff and there's so much value there. So then I guess it becomes a test of marketing there as well because you know. But I'm positioned really well. I just need to literally put out basically 6 months of content where I just demonstrate that I'm very authoritative and highly skilled at, I don't know if I'd say like building websites, but building like a building brand, increasing, building smarter businesses for agencies and entrepreneurs using WordPress, AI, and automation. Like literally, just like 6 months of that content specifically, and in every single piece of content, tell people exactly how they could either work with me, have my team do it, work with me, or consult or buy this fucking thing, DIY, DFY, DWY, whatever. And it's really that simple. And I'm just not doing it because in fairness and in transparency, like I'm slightly getting distracted within the sphere. I've talked about this before by other things that most heavily distracted by things that make money, which is, kind of good if it's a distraction that makes money, but it's still not like a great thing to be distracted. So, yeah, navigating it. But I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm just a little tired. I'm a little tired specifically today. When you give people like time and energy, just again in general, give people time and energy and then it's like, man, we could have saved people time and energy in a lot of ways if we, I guess, if I asked better questions. Really, is what it comes down to it. Um, so yeah, again, just a little diary here, diary entry, so to speak. The big thing, I mean, it's really simple. I mean, I just keep like smashing my head against a wall, and eventually I'm gonna break through this wall and like see what I already knew, and then maybe do it. I'm moving there slowly with some of this stuff, but really the big thing is it's very simple. I just need to know exactly who I'm going after. I need to know exactly what I'm offering. I need to know exactly what price, and then there's no bullshit. Like it's literally that simple. It's take it or leave it. Buy it or get the fuck away from me. Not like that. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just, making that as a funny joke. But it's like that simple. It's like here's what it is. Here's how much it costs. Here's what we do for you. We've done it for so many other people. Take it or leave it. And for some reason, I just do too much fucking custom shit. I've done too much custom shit forever. It is not a good way to run a sustainable business. And it's unfortunate because I grasp at opportunities that are good opportunities, and I know that I can fulfill them. But it's just like, again, it's almost like building like a new business, like every single time you write an offer, sometimes, or write a proposal, and then that it's a compounding effect. It's cyclical, right? So like you do that, now you have to spend time writing a proposal and thinking about it, so that takes extra time, and then if you and then you might lose it. You might lose it, and then you just wasted that time. And then if you take another weird offer, then you keep going in that circle. And yeah, it's not sustainable whatsoever. So I think I need to really think about that. Um, and I don't know. Hopefully, just tell people exactly what I'm offering for exactly the right, the exact prices. If you don't want to spend this amount of money, then just don't even fucking talk to me. um, I honestly, I'm sounding like an asshole when I say that. I know that, but in some ways, I'm being candid. In some ways, I don't know. I'm still in the middle. I'm undecided on if that's the right way to think about that. But in a lot of ways, it's like literally just don't waste our times. You know what I mean? Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. You don't go into a fucking. This is the thing. I've said this before. It's so fucking irritating. I don't go into a store and try to fucking haggle for bananas. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I never negotiate. Like, I don't even understand. Maybe that's me problem. Like, it's like, this is how much it is. Okay, great. Yes or no, and it's it. It's just crazy. So I don't know. I'm off on a tangent there slightly with that, but yeah, just pretty much gotta sell more. Gotta get in front of more people. But really, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in front of more people. I want to pick the people that I want to get in front of, pick the avatar, and then try to get in front of those people. And if they're not the right people, then that's fine. But then I'm getting in front of the people. And as long as I'm like getting in front of the same people regularly, then I could decide if they're the right people or not. And then I could tweak it from there. But when you're in front of different people every single time for different things, it's really not great. It's just not. Even if you're extremely capable like myself of doing many different things and strategizing and outsourcing now, it's like, I mean, we're making moves. We're just doing it the hard way, man. We're just doing it the hard way. And I'm actually super fucking tired of it because I could be making so much more money, and it's not all about the money. It's not like so much more money in the sense of like we could be generating more revenue, so we could be helping more people, so I could feel more like comfortable in some ways, and then I could be doing more. It's actually I don't know why nobody's ever fucking explained it to me like this. They're always just like, oh, just do websites or just like do this or whatever. If you just did websites or did one vertical for an extended period of time, but not your entire time. People always say they always position it as like do this for like ever, just make this your whole business. Which again, yeah, you could, I guess. But if you wanted to do more, you can, but just do one thing for a while and then get really good at it and then you could layer and you could try to do another thing and you could get good at that. So that's a better approach. The last thing I'll say here just to kind of like wrap this all up is that when I started in web design, I mean, that's great, but I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody wants websites now. People still want websites, but the people that want websites right now are slowly becoming late adopters to like literally everything else. Like we're on the forefront of everything. I feel like in our industry because we're watching people doing this AI shit and all this stuff. But the AI stuff is like I feel like becoming generally adopted really fast, I feel like. Now, I'm not saying people are understanding how to use it to work. You know what I mean? Like use it to build necessarily, but they're understanding how to use it. Like my wife uses ChatGPT. She's not very overly technical, you know. She's an iPhone, you know, and she just does stuff on her iPhone. But like she uses ChatGPT and so I don't think she's gonna be building websites with AI, but she's using it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's taking it's uptaking very fast. Uh, I feel like as a you know in on the whole compared to everything else, like the big things that I can kind of think of. Um, so my last point in saying that is that we're like it's just the building websites thing. It's like people don't not only that they the website itself doesn't necessarily make anybody any fucking money. It's always been such a difficult thing for me to sell. Like I have sold them and because people like at a certain point people understand that they need it, but there's so many other things that could be like you're going to pay me this much money, you're going to get this much money. You know what I mean? And it's like and there's an ROI directly associated with it. And websites are just not like that. And that's why I always want to sell websites, but I don't want to like lean on them because I want to have the ability to do that. And I don't want to because it's necessary, but it's not the revenue driver. It's not the thing that people look at and they're like, this is going to really help my business. Like, because you think that way for 5 seconds and then you have a website, and nobody comes to it. And you're like, what the fuck do I do now? So yeah, it's just, more opportunities in like, the page search field, stuff like that, like doing more of that. Like it's what I enjoy, like moving in that direction. Because it's more in that realm of revenue driving services. But I don't know. Very, 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 very last thing I'm going to say, because I've said that 18 times, is I really want to move towards things that are much more scalable in a sense. Like I want to be at the point where this is I gotta start doing stuff that's fucking productized. I have to. Like it's unbelievable. If I just put that in front of people, I'm sure people would buy it. You know what I mean? I'm sure people would buy it. So part of this mode of 11 rebrand here, especially if like I don't sell the things that I'm currently like in the in the whirlwind, right? I was talking about some of these things in the whirlwind. If I don't sell some of these things in the whirlwind, like we're definitely just fucking going Even if we do, but we're going full fucking bore on like productized offerings. I am so fucking tired of this custom shit. Like I love it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love it, and it'll still be way at the fucking far right of like the pricing tier, and it'll say like custom work, hit us up because you're gonna fucking pay for it. But like I'm so tired of it. Like it's just I want to sell a product or a productized service and just put that on repeat, and I haven't done it. I've just never done it. Really, because it's boring as fuck, and that's a stupid excuse because boring business is normally, good business. But yeah, I've just gotten to that point. So a lot of ranting here, I know. Hopefully that, some of it sparked some ideas if you watch this all the way through. Hopefully, you have some thoughts, maybe some takeaways for your business, or maybe some advice for me. I'm not above getting advice. I just talking to the camera because I like to do this. And if I don't do this, I will, go crazy. So, yeah, that's what was on my mind today, mainly. And I appreciate you watching. As always, thank you so much. I'll talk to you in the next one.